We live in a capitalist system, people, and through the history of America, well, I'm gonna keep citing Eisenhower because Eisenhower, I think, had it at its best. Although FDR did too. FDR was really great at expanding the social safety net. However, at that time, it was post-Depression, and in the Depression, we needed it. So. Here I want to go down of how the ball rolls, how the snowball keeps rolling. So Reagan cuts all the asylums, closes all the asylums we have in America, closes them. Then he cuts all the funding for mental health. And now we wonder why we have fucking crazy people on the street. Well, we used to have that. They used to be taken care of. Your fellow Americans were taken care of, like Jesus wanted. And then Reagan cut all that. So what ends up happening is now 40, 50 years later, we actually have a homeless crisis that is out of control. It tracks back to Reagan and every single fucking Republican. That being said, let's go into education. College used to be $300 a semester for anybody. Do you know why? Because in the 50s, after World War II, and we realized how many people had died in World War II, then we had Korea, then we had Vietnam. What happened was we realized, holy shit, war doesn't work. War's not good. Let's get everybody super smart. If we get everybody super smart, then we can lead the world. Kind of like China's doing right now. So Reagan comes in California because one of his advisors told him that an educated proletariat is hard to manage and hard to control. And the late 60s bears that out. Because in the 50s, everybody said, we're sending you kids to college. You're going to get educated. All these kids got educated. And in 1965, 66, 67, 68, started protesting the government because the government was raping them and sending men to their death on a daily basis. So once our government realized, holy shit, if they're smart, they're not going to war for us. If they're smart, they're not cannon fodder. If they're smart, they're not going to step in front of bullets. We can't have that. Let's cut the education budgets to all the states. So now they've slowly destroyed it, and it doesn't happen under Democrats. Democrats keep paying for education. Mamdani just paid teachers another $120 million. He put it into their budget. Yep. So now we've got this. Now we've got this dumb. Now it's 40 years later again, 40 something years later after Reagan, and now we have dumb motherfuckers who believe the Earth is flat.
It's like you said the other day. Why? Like, for what reason?
Yeah, what's the scam?
But it's what I told you. I have, people now in my family who are a prime example of this. It's like they aren't educated at all.
Right.
And so they go on these fringy websites and then they get to feel like they know something you don't know.
Well, they have to make it up.
The craziest shit I've ever heard.
They have to make it up.
They're controlling the weather. Yeah. If I hear about that one more time.
Jewish space lasers. That was actually from someone that was in Congress.
I know.
Jewish space lasers. Not just regular space. It had got to be some racial space lasers. Had to be some weird Semitic space lasers. It's very odd.
Are we done talking about handouts? Democrats wanting.
I'm just trying to point out what the handouts do. So if we take care of the homeless and the crazy, what ends up happening is we don't have the problems we have in the streets, which means our cops can take care of you, which means the streets are clean.
Oh, they have time to take care of you.
Yeah. Which means the streets are clean. You're not getting hassled on the street, and we have a better society.
Have you mentioned medical care?
Okay, and let's go. We can do healthcare next, but I was going to do. I'm doing. Education?
Being that, just like you said about cops being able to care for us instead of dealing with all of that crime and the crazy. It's the same thing. They cut all this medical funding. Good luck getting into an emergency room.
Yep.
Because that's
Hospitals
how people are going to get primary care.
Hospitals are closing in rural areas.
Yes.
So let's go to education.
Okay.
So let's say you keep it so everybody in America gets educated for $300. Let's do it like that. Okay. And I don't know when this became a bad thing, because everybody who's educated creates the next thing for us to become better, whether it's a product, whether it's a new idea, whether it's a new song, whether it's a new book that we all need to read, whether it's a new idea. So the smarter you are, the more money you can make. Well, the more money you can make, what ends up happening is then you're no longer a slave for $7.25. Mm-hmm. So if they don't have a slave for $7.25 because you're educated, no, I can actually start my own business and make my own money and hire other people. then the corporations that are currently in charge can't keep their businesses going because they don't have anybody to work those businesses. So if you make people stupid, people get locked down forever in a stupid job forever. So when Reagan came in and he actually changed California's entire education system. So it went from $300. So this is in today's dollars, $300 a semester to $3,000 a semester. Mm-hmm. So now all of a sudden you cut out all low income people. You cut out which a lot of them happen to be minorities. So you cut all those people out of education. Then when he became president did it federally. So now you got Harvard charging $200,000 for education. You've got UCLA charging $200,000, which didn't used to be able to get grants and stuff. And now nobody can be educated. So we have a bunch of dumb fucks, and we have this elite people who are educated, who own everything. Now we're going to talk about medical debt. So by the way, now if you're not educated, you end up being poor the rest of your life, panicked, and you can't fight back because you're just trying to fucking make rent. Now let's go to healthcare. The way our healthcare system works, and we're the only country out of 39, Mexico is kicking our ass in healthcare.
Mexico now has socialized medicine.
What the fuck is that? Mexico only used to kick our ass in Mexican food.
I said this in my new special. And cervezas and tortillas.
Tequila always kick our ass.
Oh, yeah. Avocados. We have... So on average, $12,000 per person per year, on average for basic medical health care.
That's what we pay.
Yes, in the United States. We are the only industrialized nation without some sort of socialized medicine. Despite that, we pay more than anyone else. Mm-hmm. We have the highest infant mortality rate, the lowest life expectancy, and the highest medical bankruptcy in the world.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to all these people who are on surface level, one level. Mm-hmm. I don't want anyone else getting free medical. Okay. But here's what happens then. So let's say we had a system where instead of me paying $12,000 out of my own pocket, we all paid $5,000 in our taxes. Sounds like a lot of money. I understand. However, for that $5,000, you can go in and get a kidney transplant. You can go in and get your leg fixed. You can go show up to your doctors and make sure you're healthy, which makes your life expectancy go longer, which means that our infant mortality rate would actually
means you're more productive. You can work more,
right?
Which means
make
you can
more
make
money,
more money,
right? And you go to school more, right? So if we had a healthcare system, the problem is the people, the owners don't. As Carlin said, I'm going to give Carlin credit for this because this kind of got me pissed. As the further I delve into this, and the older and wiser I get, I'm like, holy fuck, he was so right. The owners don't want you healthy. Do you know why? And they definitely don't want to give you a system where that the government pays for your system. And by the way, I want to clear this shit up. The government doesn't pay for your health care. Your taxes do.
Right.
So you're paying for it through your taxes.
Socialized medicine is your tax dollars.
Your taxes.
Getting you paid maternity leave for
childcare. So you can
10
work.
months instead of 2 weeks. It's getting you childcare. It's getting you that kidney transplant where you don't receive 30,000 bills for the next 3 months after.
Of $300,000.
And not building a $1 billion ballroom.
Right. Or a 250-foot arch.
Or
because your dick is so small that you need a
deciding
monument.
To completely tear up the reflecting pole. Those are all our tax dollars.
Right.
Our tax dollars last year paid for a hair and makeup studio for the Pentagon. Because the Fox News host guy that's running it now into the ground, which we need to get to, needed a hair and makeup studio that has never before been needed by a SecDef. And do you know that the Pentagon is almost broke?
The Secretary
we'll get to that.
Secretary of War. He is not the Secretary of Defense.
That's right.
He's a Secretary
who needs
of War.
Powder and lip moisturizer.
And lip liner and eyeliner to make sure he looks good. And by the way, are his cheekbones highlighted enough to really pop? I hope so, because he's the Secretary of War and we need him pretty.
Yeah.
So let's go to education. So we go to healthcare now.
Real quick, before we leave healthcare, this episode brought to you by AG1, because he ain't going to take a break today. I can tell. You're going to need it because
had it this morning.
You have it every day. So do I. I had it this morning too, because I thought I've been sick and I have been taking it. Because, when you're sick, you just forget stuff and you get off your routine. And today I thought, I should be doing that. I've been off for a few days.
72 vitamins and minerals.
Over 75. Vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, prebiotics, probiotics.
Right. Adaptogens.
Superfoods, antioxidants. It's 1 scoop, 8 ounces of water, and you're done. You don't have to take all those vitamins in your cabinet anymore, those expensive probiotics. Until last week, use this literally every day. I have my special mix. You have your special mix. I do mine with colostrum and the workout colostrum chocolate version. I mix it all together. Collagen and creatine.
That's what's great about it, because AG1 on its own is great. On its own is perfect. So what I've done, because we've been using it for a long time now, so I started going, well, why don't I just add my creatine into it? So I'm getting so I put in 10 grams of creatine. And then I was reading about turmeric and what it does, and a little bit of black pepper to activate the turmeric. I put that in. Then I put a little bit of honey, because honey's supposed to help. And then I do a juice of a lemon.
Yeah, you have a whole.
Do juice of a lemon, and I'll tell you what, I have had this happen. I get up in the morning. I use a little bit of warm water. I don't use cold water, ice cold water, because it's supposed to help your gut, but within 30 minutes, I'm like, oh, I'm alive and ready to deal with the day. I'm alive.
It's going to help you maintain energy. It's going to support your gut health. That's why it was created. And it's going to support your immune health, which we need more than ever, because our government is not warning us about anything anymore. AG1 is actually clinically shown. There, you keep this in the lab constantly. I'm always reading, because I subscribe to it. So I get emails about their new formulation. They're always like upping the ante with it. It's clinically shown to support gut health and fill in those common nutrient gaps. Go to drinkag1.com/Titus. You'll get the free AG1 travel case. This is a new deal with 7 free AG1 travel packs in the welcome kit with your first AG1 subscription order while supplies last. That's drinkag1.com/Titus. And it's the number 1 when you spell that out.
It's so good.
It's incredible.
It has added to my quality of life.
I felt better about 20 or 30 minutes after I thought to do that this morning, because I've just been like in bed and dealing with, as you call them, my carry-on bags under my eyes.
They're small.
It was a compliment.